Strong character, extremely sharp, straightforward, purposeful, confident, and successful are just a few words that Astrom people use to describe her. Gabrielle, or as most know her, Coco Chanel, was the mastermind who brought comfort and elegance together to make extravagant attire for women all over the world. Trousers, black dresses, suits, and natural perfume would not exist if it weren't for her. She knew she was unique and embraced it, saying, "In order to be irreplaceable, one must always be different," quoted from the Coco Chanel biography. Coco Chanel not only became a worldwide fashion icon, designer, and trendsetter, also an advocate for women. She began using fashion to close the gap between genders and reduce stereotyping, all while simultaneously changing societal norms. Although her childhood experiences were very limited, it provided her with a high work ethic and the ability to be resourceful, which together helped create the timeless elegance she is known for. The article 5 Reasons Why quotes Coco saying, "My life didn't please me, so I created my life." And she did exactly that. In spite of the fact that Coco's childhood was not ideal, the obstacles she overcame helped her become one of the greatest of her time. Born into poverty in 1883 and losing her mother at a young age were a few of the hardships that led Gabrielle's father to have her raised at an orphanage in France. There she learned how to sew, which came to be useful later on. A few years passed before she went to boarding school until she was 18. Coco's biography says that her first job was working as a seamstress, but oddly enough, she hated to sew. A little while later, she found herself singing as a cabaret, which is where she acquired the nickname Coco. Finally, she started her career as a modiste, or hat designer, and became quite successful. According to Astrom People, Coco opened her first boutique in 1913. Chanel didn't let the past stand in her way from making a name for herself, but she isn't the only person who should be credited for her rising fame. There were a number of individuals who helped start up and expand her line. It is no secret that she had more than a few partners during her lifetime, but many of them gave financial support and some even became influences for designs. She mixed high and low and with rich and poor to make some of the most creative looks, states the impact of Chanel. Being a woman going against the norms in the 1920s was not the easiest thing given the women's rights movement. However, Coco was still able to expand her collection and give women a louder voice through fashion. The 7 Wonders article highlights some of Coco's most popular creations, including trousers, the Chanel suit, perfume, and the little black dress. Before Chanel's designs were released, trousers and suits were almost completely reserved for men. Coco began to wear trousers for modesty, but others quickly adopted the idea. With elegance in mind, Chanel designed a suit for women that included an embroidered jacket with a matching skirt. Women were moving up in society and she wanted to dress the part. The Chanel suit quickly became one of the most popular items of its time, even seeing John F. Kennedy's wife wear it in 1963. The suit later became one of the most copied items of all time, according to the Coco Chanel biography article. Coco's quoted response to the replication of her ideas was, "Let them copy me. My ideas belong to everyone," says the impact of Chanel. As for the most famous little black dress, the idea was first sparked after her love, Arthur Capel, passed. Originally, black was reserved for loss and mourning, but Coco threw that assumption away. Speaking of trashing, you can also thank Coco for throwing out the corset back, which was tight and uncomfortable. She replaced discomfort with jersey fabric, which had only previously been used for men's underwear. The fabric was comfortable, inexpensive, and easy to get a hold of during the war. Chanel also released her very own scent of perfume, the first to be made of all natural ingredients, which would be called Chanel No. 5. To this day, that perfume is still one of the best selling. On top of designing, Coco was also known for setting trends. Trendsetting 101 says she either invented something new or she popularized the pre-existing. Coco Chanel was as unpredictable as they get. She brought communities together through fashion and went against all norms to do so. Coco made pieces for women of every background, color, body shape, and class. Gabrielle not only had a mind of creativity, but also a heart full of generosity. She was all for making each woman feel comfortable and confident in their clothes. She is famous for saying that every woman should be two things, classy and fabulous. And you bet she tried her best to make everyone feel exactly that way. Even years after Chanel's death, her love for philanthropy and advocacy live on. But how, you may ask? Foundation Chanel was created in 2011 with the goal to advance women's and girls' independence and empowerment by increasing their access to economic resources and entrepreneurship, opportunities, education and training, leadership and decision-making, as well as health and social protection, as directly stated on the Foundation's website. Supporting and funding projects is just one of the many things they do. All from foundationchanel.org, the Foundation is currently supporting over 65 projects in 35 countries. In 8 years of its existence, the Foundation has given more than 4,500 women leadership training, 1,600 have gained employment or have started their own businesses, and over 60,000 girls and women have benefited from improved access to healthcare. As we know, in her time, Coco Chanel set a number of trends, created many unique pieces, and changed the way women dressed. She overcame poverty and managed to create remarkable garments with very few resources. Now with an overwhelming amount, her foundation is able to live out her legacy. Chanel was successful because she was different. Remember, in order to be irreplaceable, one must always be different.